City volunteers distribute consolation cash to typhoon-affected residents in Vietnam. In our feature report, we take a look at how diet and acupuncture can help young athletes grow. Welcome to Diet Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. In October, 2 provinces in central Vietnam have been devastated by several typhoons. After assessing the damages, city volunteers distributed consolation cash to affected residents. In 2 provinces, more than 9,000 households have been impacted, and city volunteers hope to lessen their financial burdens. Let's take a look. As the distribution starts, people line out for several hundred meters. Quang Binh province has been devastated by several typhoons in October, leading Tzu Chi to hold distributions for 3 days.
In the past, I've worked with many charity organizations. They conduct disaster relief work by giving people money. Tzu Chi has assessed the conditions of the families. They also bow when delivering consolation cash. I really like such humanitarian culture.
Since more than 6,000 households in Quang Binh has been affected, to avoid crowds gathering, volunteers have limited each distribution to 300 to 400 people. Le Thanh Binh has cerebral palsy, but he likes to do charity work. He's always helping out at the distributions.
My body is weak, but I want to serve people. Serving people will give me more strength.
Tzu Chi is conducting 5-day distributions in 2 affected provinces. More than 400 volunteers have been mobilized. Besides local residents, many people have come from northern and southern provinces.
This pair of shoes has become like this because I work too much. I have been working to different distribution sites to help with cooking. This is like a souvenir to me.
There's a lot of work to do in the 3-day distribution, but the number of volunteers is limited, so I'm willing to volunteer with everyone. Although I get up early and sleep late, I will do as much as I can. This is my will.
Having been impacted by the pandemic and natural disasters, many families are facing tough living conditions. Tzu Chi's consolation cash has lessened their financial difficulties, and it is the best New Year gift. In Malaysia, many young people have left home to work in big cities. City volunteer Wang Kunlin's daughter, who's a doctor, is no exception. Although Wang worries about the safety of her daughter, who serves on the front line, she still supports her daughter. Let's take a look. To make a living, many young people have left home to work in big cities. City volunteer Wang Kuai-lin's 3 children are no exception. On winter solstice, Wang's children cannot return home because of their busy work. Despite that, Wang's oldest daughter misses the days when she could reunite with her family. Tan Sing Yi, who works as an anesthesiologist at Sabai Hospital, is responsible for caring for ICU patients. Due to the rising number of COVID-19 patients, ICU patients are on the rise. Seeing a lot of patients every day, Tai has a lot of reflections.
The patients have the same facial expressions. They are very anxious. They keep asking you, will I recover? Can I be discharged from the hospital? There are a lot of uncertainties. We can only tell him, it is all right, stay strong, we'll be with you. I feel very complicated. I do not know if I am giving him a promise. I don't know if it is a promise that can be carried out. Do you understand?
The 3rd wave of COVID-19 pandemic has not been improving until now. In the past 2 weeks, the new confirmed cases have stayed in 4 digits for 12 consecutive days. The pandemic made Wang worry about the safety of her children.
I'm worried, but there's nothing I can do. They serve on the front line, and they are very brave. We can only support them in the back. We try not to eat outside. We eat at home. Unless it is necessary, we do not go outside. We give them support and the best wishes. If we are careful, everything will be all right.
Although she cannot reunite with her children, but on this day every year, Wang will celebrate winter solstice with other city volunteers.
My parents are still healthy and they can attend activities. Then occasionally, they nag us about how we are caring for ourselves. It means that they are healthy. So I am grateful. We tell them good news only because my father worries a lot. Every day, we follow the number of new confirmed cases and we will talk with them. This way, they will see that we are healthy. This pandemic has taught us to stay humble. I am grateful that I am healthy and I am grateful to people around us.
Take good care of yourself. Mom and Dad will also take care of ourselves. I hope my children will stay healthy and safe. I hope 2021 will be a good year and that the pandemic will end soon.
Due to the pandemic, many families cannot unite. Despite that, their love and care for each other will continue to comfort them. During the Winter Solstice Festival this year, Tzu Chi volunteers at their own household to celebrate the festival together. Originally having mobility issues due to a car accident, Uncle Ben is now able to walk on his own after intensive care from his parents.
Today is the winter solstice. Tzu Chi volunteers carried a pot of sugar water, celebrating the festival with the Ong family.
I heard that your distant family members cannot come back due to the pandemic, so we are here as your family. Let's celebrate the festival together.
In the past, our family normally gets together. Those were the good times because my children asked me, when can we make glutinous rice balls? But after they grew up, they have to work or take care of their family.
Ong Guo being dense in his head was caused by a car accident in 2012. He survived the accident but had mobility and speaking issues. He was taken care of by his senior parents, insisting on physical rehabilitation. As of now, Ong Guo Bing can walk, eat, and go to the restroom by himself. This scene was especially moving to Tzu Chi volunteers who accompanied this family for 8 years.
We can see his growth from laying over there, not being able to move or talk. Now he can do things on his own, and I'm happy for his parents. No matter how old you are, your parents will always care for you. And from this family, I witnessed the power of family love.
Tzu Chi volunteers sat down and ate glutinous rice balls with the Ong family. Although there is no blood relationship between the two groups, but the connections are far beyond.
To me personally, I was with my mother, and when my mother got sick, along with my pressure in life, I didn't get along with her well. So seeing this family now and how their relationships are improving, I felt very moved and at ease.
The parents that took care of Ong Guo Bing for years hope that their children may heal soon and return to a normal life.
I hope that he can speak normally, listen carefully, and not do bad things.
I hope that when he is fully healed, he may return to his own family.
The winter solstice is spent like a new year, but due to the pandemic this year, the Ong family was unable to have a complete reunion. Accompanied by Tzu Chi volunteers, the reunion is now complete.
Eating glutinous rice balls during the winter solstice is part of traditional Chinese culture. Tzu Chi volunteers in Penang, Malaysia made glutinous rice balls by hand and delivered them to care recipients. Let's take a look.
These colorful glutinous rice balls are all handmade by Tzu Chi volunteers in Penang. The round shape symbolizes completeness, and they are later sent to care recipient households by volunteers.
Today we are here to send love during winter solstice. We made these glutinous rice balls for him because he just had an operation. Later, I thought of adding sweet potato and pumpkin. I hope if he eats it, he will be happy.
Tzu Chi volunteers came to see me, which made me very happy. Otherwise, I'll get sick again, so I'm really grateful to Tzu Chi.
In addition to greeting this care recipient, Koi Tang Choi, the volunteers also visited another care recipient and accompanied her during this festive time.
Am I happy when I see you? Yes, I have no children and no husband as I live alone and you have helped me. This glutinous rice ball is so delicious. I haven't eaten them in such a long time. Thank you for giving me this to eat.
Eating glutinous rice balls in the winter solstice signifies reunion and caring for each other, just as the sun provides warmth in the cold winter.
Baseball players are entering puberty and want to grow as much as possible. This is especially true for pitchers. Traditional Chinese medicine believes that diet as well as acupuncture can help these athletes grow. Let's learn more about TCM practices in our report.
Pitchers want to dominate batters, earning a strikeout, but how many great players can stand on the pitching mound and achieve their dreams?
教练，我想当投手。
当投手？你现在几公分
145。
才145，时间点到了，教练会把你拉出来练投手，好不好？
This little player faces a real problem, and the coach's answer is rather subtle. For the moment, he can only practice his basic baseball skills now.
For pitchers, this part is rather obvious. For junior high school students, being tall is really a big advantage and strength.
It takes time to master this advantage, including different flight paths for the ball and faster speed. Although one can't win 100% of the time, the pitcher's arm angle is related to the hitter's hit rate, which is often dependent on the pitcher's height.
From a professional's perspective, they call it the so-called pitching angle. The larger the angle from the pitcher to the catcher, the smaller and shorter the hitting arm becomes. If you are not tall enough, you won't achieve this angle. Tall players have larger angles, which means more chances of attacking the hitter.
The height of the pitcher is so important that these players try to master the art of getting taller. Generally speaking, after the appearance of secondary sexual characteristics, children begin to enter a period of rapid height growth. Some believe that this time is very suitable for bone growth.
Transitional stage of adolescent growth is actually a term unique to Taiwan. In TCM, it is actually not called this, as we call it something else, meaning helping bones grow and develop.
Medically speaking, the mechanism for bone development is the ability of growth plates in the bones to divide. Once growth plates are closed, it will not grow taller. During the golden development period, TCM can stimulate several acupoints through massage to help height development.
The pinky finger actually corresponds to the kidney meridian. The kidney is actually the foundation of our growth and development. The first acupuncture point I want to introduce is the top of the kidney, and the top of the kidney is actually at the highest point of the little finger. Press directly on the top of the little finger every time you press the end, no more than 10 presses per time. Perform it 1 or 2 times a day.
Traditional Chinese medicine is the simplest method of maintaining good health. Each acupressure point is like a button leading to an internal organ. Pressing such an area can indeed promote good physiological effects on the body. From the perspective of TCM, the kidney is one of the innate foundations of the body. There are also other acupressure points on the palm that can stimulate growth.
The point from lines from the pinky and ring fingers intersect are actually another acupuncture point. So when we press here, we can cover a wide range. We can press this area a little deeper as we can use the tip of a ballpoint pen to achieve the most effective treatment.
Except for the hands, the Yongquan point on the sole of the foot, which is in front of the midline of the sole of the foot, one can press 30 to 50 times before going to bed every night. The effect is quite good, and one should remember to press it at night because this is the peak time for the secretion of growth hormone. TCM also believes that for bones to grow, it is necessary to adjust one's physical condition to promote growth and development. In fact, one particular tea can be used as an aid. Dr. Wong recommends a special tea for strengthening muscles and bones. The ingredients include 5 grams each of the following ingredients: Chinese yam, Davallia marici, Synedium rhizome, lily rope, cinnamon, red dates, wolfberry, and Astragalus sinensis. It should be boiled at 1000 cc for 30 minutes.
Its main function is to relax some muscles and bones because it needs a lot of qi and blood when one grows taller. It needs to replenish qi, such as huang qi, which has this effect. If children don't have good digestion, then these supplements won't be absorbed, so there are some medicines like Chinese yam that can increase the absorption in his brain and stomach.
The doctor also said that there are 3 secrets for growing taller: going to bed early and getting up early with a good night's rest, eating a balanced diet with less sugar and oil, and regular exercise and conditioning, which can double these effects. The advice is also true for this group of baseball players, as adolescence is a time with the greatest growth potential. It can also achieve parents' hope that their children will grow taller than them, and come true as long as they use the right methods to aid growth.
As COVID-19 pandemic worsens globally, Academia Sinica has invited scientists to work together and brainstorm on solutions to fight the pandemic. City University has developed double antibody testing reagent in just 2 months. The director for R&D is an eye doctor who specializes in optic nerve treatment. Let's learn more about this developer. In fact, I only want to be a scientist as I like to do researches. But after I studied in medical school, I found it to be interesting. There are some basic courses that I thought were very interesting. When I was a college junior, I became a summer intern at Academia Sinica. I did some basic researches in the lab. After that, I received training at Taipei Veteran General Hospital and came into contact with some patients who suffer from night blindness. They have congenital retinal degeneration. Basically, doctors can only give them death sentences, as these kind of patients are hopeless. Back then, there was no medication for them, nothing. Therefore, I hope to dedicate myself and find out the genetic cause for night blindness. After that, we can take the next step and conduct genetic treatment or develop some medications or even do cellular treatment. As we all know, COVID-19 diagnosis requires the use of nucleic acid amplification tests. Basically, it requires a special equipment and people who operate these machines. As a result, although the accuracy rate is high, it takes a long time. Everyone knows that when the pandemic broke out, many hospitals did not know much about this virus. So when a lot of suspected patients go to the hospitals, we could not handle the nucleic acid amplification test. So we need a tool that can quickly do the testing. We want to develop a testing reagent that uses antibodies. Taiwan has done a good job preventing the pandemic. We do not have such needs, but we should develop our test reagent.
刚刚是测了5个病人检体，6个含过吗？N 跟 G 的线有出来的话，就表示这病人是有曾经感染过 COVID-19。
这个感染出来了吗？
第一个 G 出来了。
哦，真的出来了！好紧张哦，好紧张啊！好兴奋！
试剂就是已经差不多1分钟左右，然后可以看到病人的血清 IgG 都有出现了，然后 IgM 也有出现在第一个检体上面。
This time we're able to put theories into practice. We let students do the work. Of course, we also dedicate ourselves. From this process, we have learned a lot. Since we're working with Academia Sinica, I have to go back and forth between here and Academia Sinica. I need to do coordination.
做一个协调，我就想办法去借仪器。那
Of course, I've seen that teachers and students are all dedicated. I can only provide help. For instance, if there's a lack of equipment, I'll borrow equipment. Director of R&D means that I need to be in charge of the project, as well as getting the garbage bags. Even if we have to do the work by hand or work without good equipment, we have a sense of mission. To find the pandemic, we feel that we shoulder the mission and hope to do a better job. Then we're able to accomplish this mission. Taiwan has always been in close connection with its surrounding sea. According to statistics, in 2019, members of the cetacean species have reached 150 deaths within a year. But these aquatic mammals do not die without a cause. This time, National Taiwan Museum listed unfortunate death of whales and dolphins. Here's our report.
我们在早上大约10点的时候接获民众通报，在林口的下湖派出所前方的沙滩发现有2只活体鲸豚搁浅。
2 rare melon-headed whales are found stranded on shore at Linko's beach. Upon hearing the news, rescue volunteers immediately went out.
现在也欠缺专业的运输车辆，所以我们一直从早上等到傍晚6点半才顺利的将第一只动物运走。
Using every effort and resource, the melon-headed whale is now on its way to the Taiwan Cetacean Society's Tzu Chi Emergency Rescue Station.
有办法吗？有办法吗？就中间沉下去。直接过去，很重。
But within a week, unfortunately, 2 whales didn't survive. In Taiwan, alone in 2019, whales injured while stranded amount to a total of 155 cases. Along with the human greed of fishing, environmental damaging, and construction, the cetacean species all over the world are heavily impacted.
在2015年以后。
Since 2015, the stranded whales and dolphins have been exponentially rising. There must be a reason for such a thing. And the reasons might be us humans doing things on land.
In the museum, sounds of windmills resonate, imitating the sound of an actual windmill when it's placed in sea. The sound frequency irritates the human being. Even to a sharp hearing cetacean, it is pain to their ears.
鲸豚的耳朵，它其实因为它为了在
Cetacean's ear has to adapt to the water environment, so it doesn't rely on visual cues but auditory senses. It uses the chin to collect sound, therefore its chin is hollow, and through the horn-like chin, the sound will be amplified.
Whales and dolphins, if hearing impaired, will affect their survival rate in the sea, causing an inability to eat, leading to a death. Human beings have approached their comfort zone slowly, causing higher mortality rates in the cetacean species. From the remains of a whale or dolphin, we may witness the harm us humans have done to it.
When we look at the whale bones, we'll have scars on it. These scars are caused by the fishing nets or other fishing tools such as hooks. These things will attach to the animal, causing dents in their bones.
Taiwan National Museum displayed all cetacean samples, showing the unfair deaths while protesting for its rights.
From this angle, we can see that its spine is completely broken and might be due to a collision with a ship.
The fishing nets and dumped sea waste are the main causes to whale and dolphin deaths.
After it died on shore, we will dissect it. We thought it died due to starvation, but its stomach appears to be full. After dissection, we found plastic waste filling up the stomach.
骨头，或者是它身体里面的胃啊、肠子啊那些内脏，对，把它留下来，这些都可以成为标本。
The small studio nearby is to educate children on how to preserve and experience making cetacean samples.
所以你可以闻闻看，骨辣还是会有一点点的味道，那有些人会觉得是香的。
These are all whales and dolphins, as their bones are sampled after an unfortunate death. The samples allow humans to face the serious issue of marine conservation.
摸起来会很可怕吗？
不会，就是很特别，平常的小朋友都碰不到。
During the Industrial Revolution, whales are a rich source of raw material.
当时的捕鲸最主要捕的是大型的鲸鱼。
At that time, people hunted large-sized whales. There weren't that much interest in small dolphins. Whales were hunted to extract its fat. This benefits the production of lubricating oil, soap, and lamp oil during the revolution.
Whaling has been going on for 2,000 years, and during Taiwan under Japanese rule, people have been hunting whales. Although this industry is no longer there, the developments of infrastructure heavily scarred the sea. We must look at the evidence themselves and make a change.
To celebrate Christmas, the first and second graders from Hualien's Jiaming Elementary School went caroling at Jingsi abode. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.